Alright, today we're going to dive in a little more on the Chauvet Stage Designer. I'm going to get into some of the functionality of this thing and what all it can do. And although it's not running a large universe by any means, I'm going to show you how to run two smaller universes off of this thing with relative ease. Today we're also going to be running more cables and less wireless controllers. So I've got a cable coming over to our chain of lights here, and all of these lights here are in fact wired in with DMX cables to one another. We're also going to go over again the importance of having the correct cables and having properly functioning cables. Even when you buy them brand new like this, sometimes there's something wrong with them from the factory. Nobody's perfect, and you don't want to be showing up for your show with cables that don't work and then wasting all of your time trying to figure out something that you didn't even do wrong in the first place. Just like that cable right there. Reverse wiring, reverse polarity from the factory. So you take that to your show assuming, oh yeah, we're lovey-dovey, these things are brand new. Well, no, this cable's not working, and you would have wasted how much time trying to figure out what was wrong. You wouldn't have blamed the cables, you would have blamed your dip switches, you would have blamed everything except the cable that you thought was new and in tip-top condition. Always check your cables and be familiar with your cables. Got the Chauvet flipped over here so we can take a look at the back side. There's always this legend here that everybody forgets about when you have one of these things. Instead we go for the user manual, but most of the main 4-digit numbers are right there on the back of this if you ever forget them or if you ever lose your manual. But let's stick to the hardware side of this today. So, all the inputs and outputs here you can see. What stands out is the two DMX out. So one is your standard DMX 3-pin, and the other is a 5-pin MIDI out or MIDI DMX output. In this situation here, you can see I've got the wireless with an extension adapter on the MIDI. Let's just pop that right off so we can take a look at it. Take out some of our lights, but oh well. So you see we're running this just like that, and the DMX on the other one. The DMX cable is going to go to our light stand here. That wireless controller is going to our decoder up there, but we are currently running everything as one universe. So what I mean by that is that right now our one universe is all running together. All of our lights have corresponding addresses, and they are running as one universe. Now the way that you can do this as two universes is simply by adding a power cutoff to each chain. So you can see again that you've got two DMX outputs there. They can run as a single universe, but if, for example, you add to this chain here a wireless on and off like I've got, and then you've got the same thing on the other side of your universe, whatever it may be, as long as they've both got the wireless cutoffs, you can still run these on the same channel per se. So you can have two universes set up, and all you're doing is cutting power to one universe, giving power to the other universe, and then all of those addresses, that some of which are the same as each other, are going to function as their own independent universe. Whereas if you tried to run the two universes at the same time with this, or one universe with the same addresses, we all know that that does not work. So let's say we've got two big light arrays set up, and this one right here equals one of those light arrays, or one universe we're going to say. And then let's pretend we've got another one over there on the other side of the room. It could be exactly the same, it could be as different as you want it to be. But the point of it all is that you're going to run out of available addresses eventually, depending on the controller that you're using. This controller is somewhat limited. We come nowhere near our 512 with it. So this is a quick way to run 2 universes or 2 light arrays off of one controller. Again, all we're going to do is we're going to cut power to one and supply power to the other. And although our imaginary light array over there is going to be using some of the same addresses with potentially different light fixtures and a less compatible setup, cutting power to one and adding power to the other will not matter to this thing. Also noteworthy on the Chauvet Stage Designer is this DMX polarity switch they have hiding on the back here. When you first start out, make sure that switch is in the correct position for the lights that you're running. Alright, let's do some demonstrations here with the Stage Designer. We're going to run the single universe with 2 outputs. So one's going to be the DMX cable, the other is going to be the wireless controller. Right now our 2 light arrays are on switches 2 and 3, so we're going to turn them both on, give them power, and let's get this demonstration going. We're going to make them work together. Let's do blue. Alright, so right there we just pretended that we turned on our pot lights, our par cans. We just turned on our pars for some of our backlighting or whatever. We put 4 static blues on. Let's get some more blue out of our lights here. Blue. That took longer than I wanted. Okay, next. Alright, bunch of blue. We got a bunch of blue. Okay, Stage Designer. We want to save this, but first, we're going to erase everything because we don't need anything that I have on this board. We're going to right here. We want to hold Shift 1, 3, 2, 3. Erased all. Now we want to press the Shift Record button once. There's one step. Now we're going to hold that same button and we're going to assign it to our blue right here. Assign. Okay. I'll kill everything. Reset all these. Okay. Everything's been reset. Now I can't see anything, so we need some temporary lights. chasing scene, we should have an all blue saved on our blue fader right here. Just like that. So in 3 or 4 minutes, pissing around, we just created a static all blue using the whole universe that we had set up here. Where everything that will go blue is going blue. And that's just on one fader. That's our static blue. Off, on. Good old bluey.